Hi everyone, this is Katie Carney from Katie's Stitching, and this is my Flosstube number 29, and it is September 6th. It's a Sunday, and it's around 11 a.m. I think it's been almost 3 weeks since I filmed last. Last weekend just kind of came and went, and I didn't have a ton of stitching progress, so I figured you guys didn't really need to see that. In my last video, I talked about how boring my life was and how nothing was going on and everything was the same, and I had shown you my finished pavane, and as soon as I finished filming, I was going to give that to my friend to celebrate her marriage. So I went out to my car and I went to get a reusable shopping bag out of the trunk of my car, and I noticed that many of the bags had like holes in them, and I was like, man, what, did a moth get in here or something? Or like, did they get stuck in something? Or what happened? And then I saw mouse poop. There's a mouse living in the trunk of my car. So I am already late to meet my friend, so I can't like deal with this now. Pavane is not going in a bag. Pavane is like, I'm literally like driving on the highway with pavane, this big piece, sitting on my lap because I don't want to put it down because what if a mouse walks across it? Because now I'm convinced there's a nest and there's like 50 mice living in my car. So I meet her and I give her pavane, and she cried, and it was a beautiful thing. I was so excited that she liked it and that she was happy and surprised. She had no idea. And then we were both kind of like poking at my trunk looking for the mouse, and I couldn't find it, and I called Mark, and I'm like hysterical, and I called my dad, and I'm like, what do I do? So I got a pack of mouse traps at Rite Aid, which is a pharmacy, and it was founded in Scranton. Believe it or not, the first Rite Aid was in Scranton, although I'm a CVS girl. So went to Rite Aid, got the mouse trap, put the mouse trap in the trunk, and Mark says he'll come down and check it the next day. And I am freaking out, like freaking out. Sidebar, when I lived in New York State, when I was a museum educator, I lived in a horrible apartment. It was crappy. It was on a pond. The place ended up going into foreclosure as I was moving out. The landlord was absentee. There was like a snake living in my front garden, and there was an infestation of mice. They were in my shoes, they were in my oven, they were on my dish drain. I couldn't cook, and I had mouse anxiety in a real big way. I got a cat. My cat was like 6 pounds though, so what was she gonna do? It was not good. So I have like a weird thing with mice. They upset me very much. But I don't want to tell Mark this. He knows I don't like mice, but like I don't want to, he's been dealing with crazy Katie this whole pandemic. I don't want to be like, so, I have anxiety about mice because I didn't have a job in New York and I was wicked depressed and blah, 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 blah. So he comes down Tuesday. The trap was tripped, but the mouse wasn't there. I don't know if he was too big for the trap or if he was too smart for the trap or what. So Mark brings down like this industrial trap, and it looked like a bear trap. And he puts it down, and he comes every night and checks that trap until I think Friday we got him. Thursday or Friday. And there's Mark out in front of my house just like swinging this mouse around like it's an MBD. No big deal at all. And I am screeching. And he's like, and I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, well, I'd be fine, except my ears are ringing from your screeching. And I was like, I don't need your attitude. So then I didn't make him. He cleaned out my trunk. So I threw everything that was in there away, and he was so annoyed because he would never throw anything. He doesn't throw anything away. But I don't want this 31 bag that a mouse has been living in, and I do not want the reusable shopping bag that a mouse has eaten a hole in. I don't want these things. So we throw everything away. Then he took my spare tire out and vacuumed in there to make sure like all the droppings were gone. And he was all annoyed. He's like, well, do you want this? And it was like a sample tube of Mary Kay mascara. Now, I can't remember the last time I went to a Mary Kay party. I don't think I had this car. So there's a pretty strong argument that mascara tube has been there since before I bought the car, and his attitude was duly noted. So the trunk is cleaned out, the mouse is gone. Knock on wood, there's been no further evidence of a mouse living in the front part of my car. But I've been wearing actual shoes when driving and not sandals. Oh, and then while the mouse was living in my car, I had to drive my grandmother's car because I still had to like go to the grocery store. So there I am like, hi Graham, can I use your car? Like I'm 15 years old again. It's fine. Everything's fine. And then in the midst of all this, last week on Tuesday, I moved back to the office part-time, 2 or 3 days a week, depending on the week. I did 2.5 last week. So I was there Tuesday all day with my boss. We kept our office doors closed, except for when we weren't in there. So my office is on the 10th floor. It's one of the highest buildings in Scranton. We are the highest floor. And my window is falling out. So there's a gap at the top of the window where the glass does not meet the top, and it's just open air. So it was very warm, but my boss doesn't like to use the air conditioner, and we had the doors closed, and I can't open the window because it's falling out, and the gap's at the top, but the top of that window is like, 10 feet from the floor. So finally I opened my office door and I said, I'll just close it if you come out, because it was just too hot. So we were there all day Tuesday together. Wednesday I worked in the office alone, and then Thursday morning I went in for a couple hours, brought everything home, and now I'm going to work from home. I worked from home Thursday afternoon, Friday, and then I'll work from home Tuesday, Wednesday. And my boss is going to be in St. Louis at the end of next week for work, so I'll go in the office those days. The thought is do as little time together in the office as possible so that, we're still being extra careful. It was weird, the decision to go back. Like, do I go back? Do I not? There was definitely some worry on my part that hadn't been there before. You're around more people, the elevator. I've been using the stairs to go down. Every time you go to the bathroom, you have to, mask up, and it's a lot. So I'm glad that I'm not full-time back. I don't think I'm ready for that yet. And then I've also been walking in because my dad's been using my car. So it was nice to not have to walk in every day last week. But it's going okay, we'll play it by ear. That's really all you can do. And then I am filming today because I have an FFO, and it's actually technically a new start from when I filmed last time, and now it's an FFO. So I think I told you, or maybe I didn't in my last video, that my friend Bernadette had her baby, and she asked me to do a birth announcement for her daughter, and I sent her a bunch, and she picked on Etsy, and this is by Sasha I think she's Russian. Tereshevka. And it's just these cute little woodland animals, and then the information and a tree. It took me forever to grid out the letters. I mean, it always does. I'm not terribly fast with that. But I started that either Monday or Tuesday after I filmed. I think when I finished Pave, and I took a break from stitching for a day, and then I started. So I made a project bag for it. I did this Monday night, I think. I made the project bag. So I got this fabric. It was a remnant at Hobby Lobby. I always go through their remnants. Always, 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 because you never know what you're going to find. And then I made a little notions bag. It's got just a snap. This is actually from my friend Val. She sent me some old scraps from quilting fabric. And this one, and then the lining, was actually 3 pieces of fabric that I stitched together and then quilted to make the notions bag. So I have no chill. I love it. As you guys know, I love a new project bag, and I like to do them myself because it's cheaper and it's good practice. So this project uses DMC, as most of, that's the nice thing about the birth announcements on Etsy, is they generally use DMC. So I had all the DMC from the great Joanne's DMC purchasing, except for the pink. So, ooh, my messy threads. So I forgot to put this on my floss card, but that's the orange from the fox. And then these, I'm so sorry that they're so ugly. Those are the other DMCs. Then for the pink, I was like, you know what? I have all this fancy floss. So I went through my fancy floss stash and I settled either on Gentle Arts Pink Azalea, which was a little kind of too dark. And I finally decided on Weeks Hibiscus. And it's just the most perfect pink. It was perfect. It was just that it was light, but not bubblegum light or pastel light. It was just perfect. It worked perfectly for this project, and I'm really thrilled with the pink. It had just enough variegation, I thought. There's this, apparently a piece of floss here. And the last couple of projects, I've just been able to pull the DMC from stash, and that has been just like the very best thing. I'm so glad that I invested in the full stock of DMC. I am short a couple. I think I missed a half a row because the pink was like $9.51 or something, and all the ones around it I don't have. So either Joanne doesn't carry those numbers, or I just missed them, which is fine. I thought it was interesting that I was missing that. So I used from stash, it called for a 14 count white Ada, which I got just from Hobby Lobby, Joann's, one of them. And then I was going and I was like, you have this, I think I canceled my Color and Cotton Fabric of the Month, and it's this light blue. It's called Ozark, excuse me. It's like this light, I'm trying not to, there we go. It's like this light blue. It's so pretty. And it's a 32 count Lugana. That was what my fabric of the month was. And I thought, I'm going to try it. I think it's perfect. And if I don't like it, I can always rip it out and do the 14 count Ada. I have nothing against Ada. I just like using things that I already have. And with the hand-dyeds, it's nice to use them so that I'm not spending all that money and then they're just taking up space. So here's my finish, and it does have glass. I do use glass for her birth announcements because they're for a baby. And they're, dust and all that. So there's the cute little tree up here. Sorry about the glare. So I can't tell you why, but I made a push to finish this very quickly. I had planned to not work on it last week, and then I was working on it because I like doing letters. And then Thursday, I got some news from my friend that I can't talk about on the internet, so I wanted to get this done, and I did. I had the gray frame. It's actually the same frame I used for her brother's birth announcement. His is on, I think his is on 18 count white Ada. So the letters just barely fit. She has the longest middle and last name that exists. Michelle McGraw and I had a very fun conversation about long names. And it's all called for DMC except for the pink. And then I don't know if you'll be able to see how cute that pink is. It's just a little variegated and I just love it. And I love the little animals. The bunny, I thought he kind of looked evil, but I think with the fox next to him, he really doesn't. I love it. I think it's so charming. The 32 count Ada did make it a little, the 32 count Lugana did make it a little smaller because it called for an 8x10 frame and it should have like been a little bigger, but I think it's perfect. I love it. I love, love, love it. I finished it last night at 10 o'clock. All I did yesterday was stitch. I had to run into Hallmark to pick up an ornament for my grandmother. And I picked up lunch for us at Longhorn and I took a walk. Otherwise I stitched all day long. Yesterday I did the entire fox, the cream part of the bunny. The day before I did most of the dough and, no, I did the end of the dough and the gray on the bunny. And then the day before I did the rest of the dough and a little bit of the letters. I know I've told you guys this before, I love doing letters. I think they just fly and they're very satisfying, so yay. I hope she likes it. I can't imagine she won't. She thinks that everything I make is just stunning. If I ever need a compliment, she's the friend who I'm like, hey, what do you think of this? So while I had my framing stuff out, so I worked in, I don't know if you guys know, I worked in museums. I was a assistant curator and I was also a museum educator. But in small museums, you do it all, much like most nonprofits. So I've done quite a bit of framing, mat board cutting. I definitely need to splurge and buy a good cutter. Mine are from like the dollar store and you can tell. But much as I hate framing, I am very grateful that that frame cost me like $8. The piece of mat board was on clearance at Joann's for like $2, and it was an 8x10 already that I didn't have to cut it all. And that I know how to lace from doing it before. My framing is never going to be perfect, but it is much cheaper. For a piece like Lady of the Flag, I'm probably going to spend a couple $100s to have that framed because it's so big. But for a small piece, it does not, for me, make sense. So I'm glad that I have the ability to do that. So anyway, in July, I finished Remember the Ladies. This does not have glass in it. So this is Remember the Ladies, and this was a kit that I got at John Adams Homestead in Massachusetts about a year ago. The only thing is when I was putting it in the frame, it is a little too, I needed to pull it up a little farther, but it's for me, so I'm not stressing. This is, I used Kreinik milk paints, the silk, and that came with the kit, and the kit I have passed on. And then the other issue is it's an older frame, so I put paper on the back, but it wasn't square. So I did the best I could. It's for me. I'm happy with it. It's the first frame I laid hands on in the attic this morning. So I might play with it a little more later, but for now it's okay. And that's an FFO, Remember the Ladies. It's one of my all-time favorite quotes, so those are my 2 FFOs, but that's not all the stitching I've done. I have copied off of Janet Jabber and Michelle McGraw because I copy off them all the time. And they do, sorry, it's ragweed season, so like my nose is just itchy all the time. They do 30 minutes a day on a project. So I have been doing, until Thursday when I put the push on, for the birth announcement, I have been doing 30 minutes a day on my jingle by Mill Hill. And I'm starting to see some real progress finally. So I'm beating as I go. And I know that some people do, some people don't. This isn't on a snap or anything, so there's no reason not to bead while I go. And I know that, one, for me, it's a lot harder to count when I like to just fill in and move on. So when you're beading as you go, you can do that. When you're not, you can't. So face is done, the scarf is done, and now I'm on to the body. So he's really coming along, and guys, I did not expect to become such a fan of Mill Hill kits. But when you see my haul, you will see that I have become a huge fan of Mill Hill kits. It's not good. So that's Jingles. I'm happy with the progress. I would like to get it done. Oh, and Sundays have kind of become my ornament days. Not that, like last week, I think I stitched for an hour, but I'm going to work on this tonight. Do I think I'll get it done? Obviously not, but. And then last Friday, so a week ago Friday, I was like, I'm in the mood for a new start. Something fall. And I have, so Beth Twist, Heartstring Samplery, she started a website. Well, she didn't start, she had a website. And she started to move from Etsy onto this website. And she did a discount code. And I have no chill. So I ordered a couple things on Thursday. Whenever she opened it, I ordered a couple things, and then a couple days later, I ordered a couple more. But one of them was, You Had Me at Pumpkin Spice. So cute. Love it, love it, love it. And then I was like, well, I'm not going to start it until I show them my haul. No chill. So that Friday, I pulled the floss, and I just so happened to have, so it calls for, let's see. I love her patterns because she's got like, she gives the inspiration, like it's not just a pattern, she gives you a whole story, and the fun pictures. And then her patterns are just very easy to read. So this called for R&R Reproductions 36 count Old Mill Java, which I don't have. And then it called for Classic Colorworks and the Gentle Arts. So I happened to have two of the Classic Colorworks, which were Pine Needles and Autumn Spice. So I pulled those, and then the DMC conversions. There's not a ton of colors, which I really, really liked. So there's only 5 colors. These, I don't even know like when they're from. They were in the bags, but they're such a disaster. But again, I loved being able to just, there we go. Just pull what I needed right from stash. I didn't have to run to the store. I was able to just pull it and start. So this is in my Marauders Map Bitsy Bob by Kelly Stadola. And then I pulled a piece of Ada that I had from, I think in my was it my last video that I talked about the grab bags that Sarah K. Stitches had grabbed for me in New Jersey. One of them had fabric, and this was one of the fabrics, and it looks like a 14 count Ada. And it's got like an orange tint to it. So it was perfect. And I got the entire border done. Oh, sorry, it goes like this actually. I got the entire border done, and I started the leaves on that Friday. And then because it's just going to be, mine's going to be a pillow, not a pin cushion. It's going to be too big. I have like no margin for error, just enough room, but that's okay. Worst case scenario is that's enough for me to frame if I really needed to. So it just fits. And then that weekend I was at Hobby Lobby with a friend and I got the prettiest tartan plaid fall. It's like a hunter green and orange. It's just perfect. Backing fabric. So that's high on my list. And then actually, so I have that. And then in the most recent just cross stitch that came in, there is, hang on, let me find it. Ugh, watch, I'm not going to be able to find it. There's the cutest little house with a pumpkin. Oh, I forgot they do the picture at the back. Page 40. It's a small, just like a little ornament, although I would do either, probably pillow. So there's not a great picture without the chart, so let me cover the chart up. How stinking cute is that? So I think, yes, I love it. That will be next. I love fall stitching. I would stitch fall things all year long. I've got my my little pumpkins out, and then right there is the fox that I made last year from the Just Cross Stitch issue. And then I took it down to record, but I've got the fused glass plate out that I made last year. I don't know when or if I'm ever going to go back to the cross stitch studio, but she is open. I'm not really comfortable with the idea of taking classes and then having to wear a mask while you're using all those chemicals. Just doesn't sound fun to me. But anyway, so that's a new start that I hope to work on soon. And then my only other whip that I worked on was Lady the Flag, and I keep saying that I feel like I'm really getting nothing done on her. Here she is. She's so pretty. Oh, I love her. She's so pretty. But like, I'll be working on her. I have a working copy, of course. And like, this is 4, 8, 12, 16. I mean, I've done like 3,000 or 4,000 stitches already. It's just that she's full coverage and she's not small. So since you've seen her last, I did all of this and some of this. Can you see that? Oh, I love her. You can see the holes for the beads. And so far, she's coming out okay. I think I'm going to give her some love this week, just because she deserves it. And then I need to work on ornaments for my grandmother. I am behind. I only have 10. It's not good. Need to do that. So so those are my whips. The pumpkin one is an extra one. I normally don't keep that many whips going. But should we talk about plans or should we talk about my embarrassing haul? Let's do haul. Okay, first off, I want to thank Jen. She sent me 2 giant boxes of like her old magazines that she had like ripped patterns out of the magazines. It's a lot of like Christmas ornaments and fall stuff, and then I was able to pass some stuff along to Sarah. So Jen, thank you so much, and I hope you're feeling better. I haven't heard from you in a couple days, so let me know how you're feeling. But so I have like a stack like this of patterns that I need to go through because it's been really great because I have kept the ones that I know I'll stitch, and then luckily Sarah only lives a couple blocks away, so I can just drop patterns off at her house. Although Sarah, if you're watching, we need to get together because I want to ice dye all of that Ada that I have waiting for us. Okay, let's do haul. So first off, I know that there's like contention around the Hobby Lobby, but I do shop there. The 2 times ago when I was there, their kids like crafts, like the nice ones that are by the cross stitch section, were on clearance. So do you remember my friend Cassie who came over and we did the little like embroidery cross stitchy kit? I got her a ton of stuff there. I got her like $120 worth of stuff for 20 bucks. So she's done for Christmas. Yay! And then I got myself one of these. I like these little kits for crochet, and I can't crochet, but one day I will teach myself. And it includes everything you need to make Pooh and Piglet. And it was on sale for like $6, and it has the hook, which is great because I don't currently have a hook. I have to sneeze. Hang on. I'm telling you, these allergies. So anyway, this was $6 and I grabbed it. I really want the like the Star Wars one to go on sale, but it has not. And then I joined the world of cross stitch. Not I joined, I got a subscription. I have had some good luck with these, so I'm very happy to have it. And then this time, you know, they always send like a thing, and this time was this cute little Summer's Here mouse. So I've actually gotten a lot of use out of these, so I'm thrilled. And then so I order from a company called for clothes. It's called Farmhouse Frocks. They're based in Ohio, and hopefully I'll remember to link them below. They employ Amish seamstresses to make their clothing. If you've seen anything I wear that's linen is made by them. I have a pair of pants, a couple dresses. I love their stuff. But they had, the last time they were doing a sale, they had this little bag, and I just had to get it, which is great because, you know, my reusable bags got eaten by a mouse. Luckily, I hadn't put this out there yet, so I got that. And then, as I said, I have no chill with Beth Twist. She posted about the discount code, and I finally I didn't splurge. I have been thinking about getting this pattern for a while, and the discount code made me finally do it. So not that Heartstring Sampler would ever watch my Flosstube, but it worked. I bought 4 patterns. So when I bought the pumpkin one, I finally got the Prairie Life Sampler. I love Little House on the Prairie. So I have a learning disability. I had a lot of trouble learning how to read. A lot. And my mom read me all of those books. They were some of her favorites growing up. I went as Laura Ingalls for Halloween a couple years. So those books mean the world to me. I've reread them. They're like comfort read. They're kind of like Harry Potter in that they're comfort reading for me. They make me think of my mom. I'll never forget sitting on the arm of her chair while she would read to me. When I had my tonsils out and I was in the hospital before they let me go home, she was reading me On the Shores of Silver Lake, and she read until she was hoarse, and I finally fell asleep. I was never a good sleeper, so Little House on the Prairie has some real memories for me, very important memories, so I love that. And then I have no chill. There was a line of Little House on the Prairie fabrics, and I tried to get them. I just wanted like a fat quarter pack. Like I didn't want to have to like get a yard of everything, and I put it in my cart on eBay, and the next morning before I checked out, it sold. I should have just gotten it, and I will regret that forever. So if anybody ever sees the fat quarter pack of Little House on the Prairie calico fabrics, send it to me, please, ASAP. So then I found out about Beth Twist's new website from her Instagram, but then I watched her Flosstube, and she talked about her 2 new releases, and they are so charming that I had to get them. So one of them, the first one I got was Flag Day. It's Flag Day at Twin Gables. Isn't that cute? Oh my god, I love it. So I got that. And then she did a Votes for Women. I guess she's doing in this series like odd holidays that maybe people don't celebrate. So this one is Votes for Women, Suffragette Day at Twin Gables. So the house is a little different than most cross-stitch houses, so I really like that. And I think I'm going to do this for me. I did Suffragette Act for my friend Ashley, but I think this one's going to be for me. I like that she has the little, like, suffrage era fabric on there. She finished this into, like, a book sleeve. I don't know how I would finish it, but that's definitely on the list. And then, so in April, after market, Stitcher Mel and Tracy at Tracy Stitches, who hopefully I will remember to link below. Her Flosstube is awesome. She's a beautiful stitcher, and she's done Lady of the Flag, and she's beautiful. They recommended a shop in Baltimore that they both use, and I called and I did a pretty big order. I was hoping that I had my receipt here so I could remember the name of the shop. Yes, it is Needlecraft Corner, and she's based in Baltimore. So I did this big order, and then I called her mid-May because my credit card number changed, and I said, hey, do you think you'll have it by July? And she said, oh yeah, definitely. And then I didn't hear anything. And then, like August 28th, I got a shipping notification, and all of a sudden I had this huge charge on my credit card, which is fine. Luckily, it was a credit card, not a debit card. I had thought the stuff was never coming. So some shopping I've done I should not have done, but I did, and it's too late now. I'm thrilled to have the stuff finally, but also, ooh boy, no more Shopee for Katie. Except, never mind. Anyway, she sends with your package some free charts from the Cricut collection. I got 2 packets of them. So I have to admit, I don't remember what all this is for. So I know that I got this for my dad, and it's you like the sheep, EWE, better not pout. There's no picture of it, but it's fully kitted. She does like little kits like this that are pretty cheap. It's got a little stocking in the corner, and then the called for fancy floss. It's all weeks. The pattern's by Shepherd's Bush. My dad loves sheep, so I had to get this for him. So this is going to be for my dad. And then I got, so I have Consider the Lilies, the book. So I got all the fancy floss for it. I think this is why it took so long to get here. Look at all that fancy floss, holy mother of God. And the fabric. Got the called for. It's a big piece. It's not small. I don't have the pattern here. I can't remember what the called for is for Consider the Lilies, but she kitted it up for me. And I like that she put it in a bag that says Consider the Lilies, or I would not remember that's what it was for, because I don't remember what all this is for. I also got the MPI silks for MPS, excuse me, the MPS silk, no, yeah. Needlepoint ink, MPI silk. Whew. For Charleston, which I had. So that called for And I didn't have the chart yet, so I couldn't just use the DMC, so I just got the silk because it was pandemic times and I was insane. So it'll be my first time using needlepoint silks. They are very pretty, very soft. And I'm assuming, what is the fabric? 32 count fog, which I have here. So it's a, I have 36 count. It must be what she had, which is fine. I can see that. So that's fog by Picture This Plus. And that's for Charleston. And then I have, this is for another pattern I got at Market. Hang on, let me go see if I can find it. Hold, please. Okay, I'm back, sorry. First off, it's for Love Always. This is by Annie B's Folk Art. I've never done any of her patterns, but this one sang to me at Market. So that's what the fancy floss is for, to do this. It's going to be on 32 count flax, 1 strand over 2, using weeks. I don't usually use 1 strand, but we'll see how it goes. And did I get the fabric? This is 40 count Stars Hollow. I don't know what that's for. I don't, because I have the fabric for, well, now I have a piece of 40 count Stars Hollow. Don't know what it's for. Then what I'm assuming is my last Color and Cotton Fabric of the Month came. It's a pumpkin, like a light pumpkin color. It's the August 2020 special edition, 32 count Lugana. I love it. Now I'm having remorse about canceling that subscription. And then I have no chill. So I had been looking for the Mill Hill Celtic Santa, and you could get it on eBay, but it was kind of expensive and I was not paying overpriced for it. And then a different kit I liked from Mill Hill came into stock on Amazon, and I was like, well, let me check and see if they did a restock on Mill Hill, and they did. So I got Celtic Santa. I only got one. I should have gotten a couple. It's in a baggie. I don't want to take it out, but it's like 3 pumpkins. I got, this one is like a purple pumpkin with sunflowers. And then I also got a shamrock. I don't know where it went. And that's my haul. There's a couple more of these coming in still. They just take forever to ship. That's plenty of haul though, because I'm sure there'll be more in 2 weeks when I film again, because I have no chill. Rocio and I were talking about how she has a budget now, and I have a budget. I just can't seem to stay within it. It's not great. It's okay. It is what it is. Anyway, let's talk about my plans quick, because this is really, really long and I'm sorry. So first off, I need to finish Jingles the Snowman. Hopefully I'll work on him today and then in the next couple days for a half hour. And then I'm going to start, I have Lizzie Kate. It's 4 little Christmas patterns. They're very small and they're very cute. I'm going to start those next. And then I'm going to continue working on Lady of the Flag and the little pumpkin piece from Beth Twist. And I think when that's done, I will start the other fall small. And then I do have some Christmas stitching I need to work on. So there might be some more new starts in my future. We'll see. So those are my plans. Anyway, I hope that you are all well. I can't wait to see you soon. It was so nice to sit and chat with you. Thank you for tuning in, and please stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye!